Hello and welcome to the Prevention Corner. My name is Rich Coleman. I am your host for the Prevention Corner, and yes, this is 2025. Wow, the year is going by really fast, but we are in the process of really jumping back into the stream with our eCam program to bring about programs for 2025. I am so excited about bringing the programs back. Last year, we took some time off to deal with some technical difficulties, upgrading our equipment to accommodate all of the new software and the program that was going on, as well as to learn how to use it. I love this program, and eCam has done an amazing job. It's one of the many streaming services that are available for content creators, and I am happy to be one of those. This year, 2025, our theme, We Can Do Better. You're going to hear me and a number of our community members sharing information about the programs that are available here in our community, the nonprofits, our faith communities, the things that are important for us to lift each other up, but also to find where are the resources that we need to help our community, our families individually. And there's so much stress and strain that's going on out there, and we want to find the avenues to be able to support that effort. Now, we're going to be looking at and working with and inviting representatives from our local efforts here in Ann Arbor and throughout the Washtenaw County and Southeast Michigan area. And we're also going to be talking about efforts going on at the state and national level. We're going to be focusing on healthcare, crime prevention, things that I have personally been involved with as a passion for the last 30 plus years. And we're going to look at those resources to find how can we help. And I also have to give a big shout out to my most avid supporter, my wife, Phyllis, and all of the endeavors that she's been involved with helping me not only do research, but also a listening ear to give me a different perspective on some of the things that we're seeing to be able to share with you. We're also going to be talking about family. And our family, the Coleman family, the Chapman family, and also your family. We have a lot of great things that's happening that we want to share here on this platform about family. And we'd hope to do just that. Now, the other thing that most of you know who watch the show regularly also know that I, as a musician and drummer, percussionist, and singer, songwriter, and being involved with the American Federation of Musicians, NARAS, ASCAP, all of the groups that we have been involved with professionally for many years, that we're going to continue to do that. But one of the things that I have found really amazing is that we have some of the best live music here in Washtenaw County and throughout Southeast Michigan with our jazz festivals in Detroit, that we're going to be reaching out to our American Federation of Musician members and the unions and all of the jazz organizers, not only there in Detroit, but also we had a feature last year, and we're going to bring him back again with Johnny Lawrence and the jazz festivals here in Ypsilanti and the other groups that's also sponsoring jazz festivals. Now, we have in this live music genres that's occurring throughout Washtenaw County and Southeast Michigan, we have one of the most great new locations called the Blue Llama. And the Blue Llama has been bringing in some of the amazing artists from literally all over the country to perform at the club. And I've been to some of those shows, and the atmosphere, the music, the engineering, the close proximity to the artist, that you can really feel that music and what they're striving to give you through live music. We also have the Ark. And the Ark has been providing a lot of great genres of country music and a lot of different types of music that cross the spectrum of sound. So this effort here in Washtenaw County is absolutely amazing and literally not talked about enough, because we also have Top of the Park, which is a summer endeavor that goes on, that's sponsored by an effort here in Washtenaw County, that in Ann Arbor, that is amazing, with artists and dancers and films and things that's going on for families. And we hope to share with you what's going on at Top of the Park 2025. But here's one of the things for me that I want to do this year. I'm working on a documentary of a very special person in my life and our family, the Coleman and the Chapman family. And her name is Christine Chapman. Christine Chapman is my aunt, but she was also one of the jump blues recording artists during the 40s and 50s, that she played with Sinatra and Sammy Davis and Lena Horne. She had her own orchestra. She played 13 instruments in her orchestra. But it was so important for us to not only understand and learn about what her music was and find it, because as we were growing up, Aunt Chris didn't talk about her music career that much to us. We knew she played piano because she was the leader of the Walnut Grove Male Chorus. So we had a chance to see and hear her play there, but not in the arena that made her famous. And this is something for me that has been amazing to not only find, but one of the projects with my son, Alex, when he was in third grade, we did an effort called an iSearch. And with that iSearch, he was asked to find information about someone important to you that you don't know a lot about. And so as we were exploring different topics, I said, you know what? Let's do a little research about your great aunt Christine Chapman. And from the beginning of that research years ago to today, even, we're still finding out more information about her amazing music career. I have in my possession 19 recordings, which is on CDs and compilation CDs from around the world that she has her music featured on. And a number of artists that she played with during that era, Hank Ballard, Gene Ammons, and the list just goes on with Peppy Prince. And she was on the Decca label, which is based out of the Tennessee area. And that whole recording package and all of everything that was in that recording group was also purchased by Universal Recordings and Universal Group, which owns the copyrights for those recordings that she was on. One of the things that I have done is also reached out to prepare to re-record some of her songs. And I'm in the process now of getting the mechanical license to do just that. But one of the things that I have found that has been so amazing is that we as a family, the Chapman Coleman family, Dr. Charles Chapman and Josie Bond, which is my grandfather and grandmother, and my mother, Martha Coleman, and all of the sisters that are listed in this picture. My Uncle Charles, he was the only son, but these ladies were just amazing. Many of them were teachers and educators at the college level, and it was just amazing to have that much endeavor that was really the foundation of what we as all of the grands and have taken on and been a part of. Also in this picture is my cousin Madeline, and we're going to hear from her and other cousins when we do the documentary, because she was there and a part of what it was like to grow up and be on Institute Street where all of this music and all of this fun time was going on. So this is something that we are excited about. And with this effort, when I was doing this research, I found the Blues and Rhythm magazine, which is based out of the UK. And in that magazine, this was the cover, the Christine Chapman story. And it took 6 weeks when I contacted the group, the publishers, and they still had copies. And I was able to get 2 copies. They only had 10 left. And I was so excited 6 weeks later to get that first copy. And at the end of the story, at the end of the article, they asked if anyone knew what happened to Christine Chapman and if she was still alive. That then triggered me to be able to reach out not only to the editors, but to the person, Dan, who wrote the article, Dan Cochran, and he was out of the Boston area. And he and I had a chance to have a lot of conversations about the information in the article, some of it that was incorrect, that we helped correct, but also I provided him with pictures that I had. When I was touring, I had the opportunity to spend a lot of time with her, and she had photo albums with all of these great artists from all of that era that unfortunately we lost all of those pictures when the tornado hit Jackson, Tennessee. And that really just wiped out all of those great memories. But for me, I'll never forget them. And the second article that was featuring my input, in addition to the Walnut Grove Male Chorus, Mr. Cobb was one of the one surviving members that was interviewed for that article. And I also had an opportunity, and you will hear his voice and his perspective of what it was like to work with Christine Chapman. And one of the things for me that was so exciting, knowing that she played multiple instruments, that she and I would talk about, uh, that the backbeat of the band, the drummer, and which is what my role was. So we talked a lot about what it was like for me touring at that time in the mid 70s and what it was like for her. And she was hoping and praying that it would be better because she ran into a lot of the obstacles that we all know and know about that era of musicians and things that happened that the African American artists did not get the opportunity to be in the clubs and having to go through the back doors, and the agencies and everybody that they were working with were always the hope, are you doing what's right by me? And one of the things that we did have to correct that we discovered that was in a lot of information that was being published is that she had been blackballed out of the Indiana and the Chicago chapters because the union dues weren't paid. But we've learned and have been able to be provided with information that her dues were paid. And it was not her, it was the booking agents and the agents that were working with the band that she had at that time. So we really worked really hard to get her name cleared. And we're going to be sharing all that information with this upcoming effort of the documentary. But here's what's really amazing. Just a few weeks ago, I was contacted by Mr. James Terry, who was the president of the West Tennessee Jazz Foundation. And they are going to be inducting her into the Jazz Foundation in West Tennessee this year. And it was a call out of the blue. And he had the articles and knew that I was featured in one of those articles. So as we prepared for this effort, we hope to be able to actually perform some of her music. This is going to be a tall order, but this is something as we pull the mechanical license for these songs and to be able to use the talent of this third generation of Colemans and Chapmans to be able to pull this off, to pull that music together, because she has such a good time performing. But I want to do this for you now. I want you to hear in Mr. James Terry's, his own words of what's going to happen here with Christine Chapman.
Jazz is considered America's classical music.
The Jazz Foundation of West Tennessee is preparing to honor a jazz legend.
West Tennessee has a rich history of jazz and blues music. So we're recognizing and honoring that tradition, but we also want to build upon it.
James Cherry is the president of the foundation. He talks about West Tennessee jazz legend Christine Chapman.
She was born here in Jackson, in South Jackson, in October 1920. By age 3, she was already playing piano. By 1943, she started a band and traveled all over the country playing jazz and blues music. She backed artists such as Lou Rawls and Dinah Washington and Frank Sinatra. Just for a woman in general, and particularly a black woman in particular, for her to have the temerity and the courage to start her own band and to pursue her dreams is just incredible.
Chapman is getting a historical marker near where she grew up in Jackson, in front of the city court building.
The marker will be located on Royal Street, which is not far from Institute Street, where she was raised primarily.
The foundation received a grant from the Tennessee Arts Council, which will allow for the historical marker. It will also be used for a concert next year.
It will allow us to celebrate African American Music Appreciation Month, which is June of every year. In June 2025, legendary pianist Donald Brown, he will come here with his quartet. He taught at Berklee School of Music in Boston. He's recorded over 17 CDs. He's just an incredible musician and artist.
To learn more about the Jazz Foundation of West Tennessee and their upcoming events, you can visit our website, nbc39.com. Charlie Stone, 39 News, Jackson.
That is so cool, not only to hear and speak with Mr. James Terry about this endeavor, but also knowing that when this occurs, our goal with all of our family members, as many as we can between the Chapmans and Colemans, is to be there, to be a part of this historic event in Jackson, Tennessee. I'm so excited and so proud of my aunt, but all of the work that's gone into not only the research, but also the endeavor to find how we can help preserve the history of her work in the music industry. Again, we are excited about 2025 and all of the programming that we're going to be bringing. We look forward to providing this information to you on this platform. Again, my name is Rich Coleman, and I am so excited about once again being able to bring you the Prevention Corner. Thank you so much. Be well. See you soon.